today's session is basically about what you know. First, you need to know why you should study Indian economy for your prelims. Second, the importance of Indian economy, the importance of this subject. Third, what all things in Indian economy you have to study. Fourth, the pattern of questions and how much percentage you can score in Indian economy. Okay. Now regarding prelims, and all the topics are having different weightage from your examination point of view, or all are not having equal weightage. Some topics is having higher weightage. So those topics which are having higher weightage will be covered first. That's, you getting the point? There is no point I am starting with poverty and unemployment or human development or capital market, something like that, which has less number of questions. We will study everything. Okay, now the thing is that very interesting thing is that now many students prepare for civil service examination. I had seen many students preparing for civil service examination for 1 year and 2 years, and they skip many core topics. They skip many core topics. I had seen, like what to say, when people come to me, when they don't qualify prelims for the first attempt, I ask them, okay, what all things you studied for your first attempt? Have you studied external sector? Sir, external sector, what is that? then I'll not say. Then what about money and banking? Sir, I attended many classes of economy, but they are not clear. Okay, so that should not be your case. Okay, you should know the depth of this subject from the prelims point of view. Okay, so this will help you. Okay, now try to understand. First, we will see the weightage. You know, there is 100 question for prelims, 100 only question, and this in this 100 question, what is your aim or goal? Getting 120 marks. And economy will play a crucial role in getting you 40 marks out of this 120. Economy is a paper where you can easily score if you work hard, smartly. We'll give you all the assistance. Okay, you can get 20 plus provided you do your preparation in a proper manner. So that's the first thing we will be doing here. Okay, now if you see the 8 year, you know the importance of this 8 year. Okay, 11 only this new pattern is there. Okay, so in 11 economic questions, there were 26 economic questions were there. And when it comes to 2012, 19 question, 13, 22 question, 14, 14 question, and from 15 onwards, the importance is in that range. Okay, 24. Then in 16, the maximum number of questions was asked in 16, that is 34 questions, and in 17, 27, and in 18, 23. So on an average, you will get minimum 20, 22 questions from economy, whatever happens. So you know the relevance of Indian economy for your prelims. Can you skip this subject? Suicide. You will not qualify prelims. The problem with this paper is that many students have not studied it during your graduation time. Okay, very less people, okay, have an idea. Okay, this is a comparatively a bit tough subject for reason being it is highly current affair oriented. It's highly current affair oriented. Okay, and so many people are not clear with the concepts also. Okay, for economy, first thing you need to have is that the clarity, conceptual clarity is very important, and then you need to update with the current affair. That's why we have an exclusive Telegram channel for prelims, because economy, majority of the questions are coming from current affair. So we have an exclusive economy prelims Telegram channel, and we have an economy exclusive mains Telegram channel also, and you know both are different. Okay, so by looking into this, you can see that the 1, 2, 3, 4, in out of these 12 or 13 topics, the first 4 topics, so already you know economy is a core subject. Within economy, 4 topics are very important. That is external sector, money and banking, public finance, agriculture. So first we will cover all these 4 first. First we will cover, so that if you see on an average, see the number of questions, the first 4 is having at least, see in this year prelims, there were only 23 questions. 17 questions came from these 4 topics. And in 17, 18 questions. In 16, question number were high, so 22 questions. In 15, 15 questions. So within economy, there are certain topics where you have to give, so you can give more time to these 4 core topics. We will cover it first. Okay. So just have an idea, external sector, what all topics, major topics you have to study. External sector, money and banking. I'll start with external sector, then we'll go to money and banking, then public finance, agriculture. Then you need to know about national income, inflation, industry, infrastructure, capital market. Planning, now it is irrelevant. Now there is no planning in India. Planning commission is abolished. So only, if you see in the planning section, only 1 question was asked in 2014. Now this new government abolished planning commission and no planning, all in India. So planning is now not there. Human development, poverty and unemployment, government schemes. So 12 topics in Indian economy. You have to study 12 core topic, but in that 4 is core, most important. So you know the weightage of economy, you know the most important topics. So first you know economy is important. Second, you should know, okay, why I am taking external sector today? Because it's very important. Okay, no, you will get on an average every year, at the worst scenario, you will get 2 questions from external sector. Worst. If you are lucky, there is a year where you have got 11 questions also from external sector alone. Okay, so this trend varies, but now I can say that okay, 3 to 5 questions you can expect. Minimum you can expect 3 to 5 questions. So we'll have an idea. So now what you do, I'll share you in your Telegram channel all these questions. This 8-year economic questions PDF I'll share you. Just go through it. We will solve all these questions in the once I cover, because I warned you. See, this is your syllabus. What is your economic syllabus for prelims? This is your syllabus. This you have to cover. A person who cover all these topics, so you need to know, okay, from external sector, what all things you have to study. In external sector, what all things you have to study. And you don't read any our study material will be sufficient. Study material and the Telegram current affair will be sufficient. Only extra thing which you have to read will be economic survey. That will be means before the budget economic survey will be published. Again we will have an economic survey session also. That is the extra source you have to read. Okay, so have an idea about this. All these analysis will be given in that PDF material. Same analysis, I want you to know it. Okay. Now, just to know the depth of each topic, I just mention, okay, from where these questions was asked from external sector. In 2011, you know, there were around 5 questions. So now we'll discuss what is external sector, okay, when we start this session. Just have an idea from external sector, the questions asked are, okay, just keep in mind, okay, that based on this only, we prepared our material. The material, because see, other subjects have NCRTs. Geography have NCRT. So they can structure, the many standard textbooks are there. Polity, you have standard textbook. Economy, so geography you have, environment you have. But when it comes to economy, which is just such a dynamic subject, it's very difficult to prepare a textbook which cater to the present demand of the economy. So we prepared the material by looking into the pattern of the questions and the weightage of the questions, we have prepared our modules, external sector modules and other things. Okay, so questions were asked in 2011 from IMF, so you have to study IMF, FDI, foreign direct investment, closed economic concept, current account deficit, which we will be discussing today. What is current account deficit? Export, the concept of export. Then in 2012, foreign direct investment. See the 11 and 12. In 11 also FDI question, 12 also FDI question. In 12 another question was there regarding the currency price. You might have heard the news, rupee increasing or decreasing in relation to dollar. All these things you will study here. It's a area, okay, where UPSC asks question. Capital account, we'll discuss what, again capital account, current account we'll discuss today. India's foreign exchange reserve, which is your third module, will question. Balance of payment, we'll discuss today. Balance of payment, current account, world economic outlook. See, current account, capital account, current account, FDI, it shows what you have to study from external sector. You're getting the point, okay? You're very clear, okay? Now when I talk about FDI, you'll be very happy to know about FDI or current account or capital account because you know that UPSC have asked a question from it, okay? So this, see, before starting a subject, knowing that subject makes the preparation very effective. Okay, that's the purpose of this session, okay? Now, when it comes to 15, there is a question on international liquidity. In 15, the second question was geographical indication question. Same, from the same area, 2018 prelims question asked. Anyone who are prepared on geographical indication based on 2015 prelims, in 2018 there were only 3 questions. One question was on geographical indication. Then Fortaleza declaration, we'll discuss that. What is that? Global economic prospects, agreement on agriculture convertibility. So these were the questions asked in 15. 16 was the record year for external sector, 11 questions. See, amber box, blue box, green box, basically they are WTO concepts. Same, agreement on agriculture. If you study agreement on agriculture, under agreement on agriculture, we'll study all these subsidies. Basically, they are subsidies on agriculture under WTO. Related. IMF SDR, already you know that IMF already been asked, IMF SDR. International Monetary and Financial Committee, again related with IMF. Concept of import cover, ease of doing business index. Okay, you might seeing these things in the news, ease of doing business index. Trans-Pacific Partnership, now Trump was in news because of it. Base erosion and profit shifting, New Development Bank, Global Financial Stability Report, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Again, one question. The second question in 2018 was from RCEP. Advantages of solving previous year question. I told you same question will not ask, but area will be repeated. So out of 3 questions, 2 questions in external sector were in 2018 were previous year question. Same area, RCEP question and this geographical indication question. Then European Stability Mechanism. This is the 16th question. Now 17 question, domestic content requirement or India-US solar dispute, trade facilitation agreement, broad-based trade and investment agreement. It is basically India-European Union free trade agreement, national intellectual property rights policy, IPR policy, digital single market strategy, concept question on liberalization, and the 2018 prelims question on Google tax or another name for Google tax, equalization levy, RCEP, already we had seen that regional comprehensive economic partnership question, geographical indications. These 2 questions were repeated, same area. Now, you know the 8-tier questions being asked from the external sector, and external sector is one of the most important topic for your prelims, where minimum, at least at the worst scenario, 2 questions will come. We have seen it in the 8-tier analysis. Now our modules are designed, you have to study 8, you had seen, you got module 1 only. Only module 1. Okay, today we'll complete module 1. If there is time, or we'll see it, okay. So what, now the next question is, you know that economy is very important, yes or no? You know that external sector is very important. Now the third question is, sir, what all I have to study under external sector to cover all these areas? You have to study 8 modules. So if you study 8 modules, all the concepts as well as current affairs will be covered. Now your job is, once I complete these 8 sessions or 7 sessions I require to complete external sector. After completing these 8 sessions, now your job is just to, any news related articles which I will be sharing in your prelims channel or in your mains channel, economy channel. Just read it and update your study notes. That's your job. You should update it, because I told you economy is dynamic. I am teaching you external sector now. You have 1 more year for prelims. And if you are not updating it in the class itself, in the coming session, I will be telling you, okay, yeah, updated, but you should do it. At least you should do that job. Okay, so your balance of payment is your module 1. Module 2 is, you will study about convertibility. In module 3, you will study about forex reserve, India's forex reserve and exchange rate system. There, you will understand how rupee value increases or decreases, what is the mechanism, like that. Then we will study in the module 4 about IMF and World Bank. And in the 5th, we will study about foreign investment like FDI, FPI, etc. We will study there. 6th, we will study WTO, where all the things, agreement on agriculture, TRIPS agreement, all these things we will be discussing. 7th, we will study about intellectual property rights, all the intellectual property, geographical indication is an intellectual property right. And the last one, trade agreement. Under trade agreement, we will study RCP is a trade agreement. 8 modules, that's it. So this is my way of classes and material. Nobody have done this. Okay, it's my own method. It's my research on Indian economy made me realize that this is how module have to be prepared. You will not see this structuring anywhere that I can challenge. Okay, so that's regarding external sector, what you have to study for external sector. So never miss any classes on external sector, not on, especially on economy. Now comes to the money and banking topic. You know that when it comes to money and banking, just I'm going back just to show you the relative importance of money and banking. See, now the last 2 years, now money and banking is the one and only one topic which is consistent, minimum 3 questions. Is there any year without 3 questions from money and banking? Every year, imagine a topic gives you, not a subject, a topic is giving you 3 questions. And there have been 2 years, 2018 as well as in 13, there were 7 questions. And in 17 there were 5 questions. Can you neglect money and banking? Just 2 days back there was a news on money and banking. Reserve Bank of India increased the repo rate. Very interesting, you love an economy. Once I am telling you, you will be a die-hard fan of this subject, provided your concept is very clear. You will be very eager to, now your fear of reading newspaper, you will not touch. Same thing, actually I told you after prelims I met few students from BPCL, they were telling, sir, earlier we remove 1 page of Hindu, business page, we will not read it, because we don't understand what we are enjoying now. That's the transformation you will have, whatever your background is, okay. So, money and banking, so after external sector we will move on to money and banking. So, you know it, money and banking is very important. Now we will see it, okay, how the questions been asked from money and banking. So that, now in 2011, the question was on teaser loan, a concept on teaser loan we will discuss, okay. Then concept related with commercial bank. So basically here we will discuss all the issues associated with money and banking, money market, etc. Then a concept called bank rate. In 2012, concept related with money supply, lead bank scheme, RBI. 11, 12 and in 13, all were from money and banking, all were conceptual questions. But from 14 things changed, okay. So then 13 there was a question on liquid assets, open market operation, priority sector lending, question on NABARD, question on RBI, question on bank rate, repeating, money supply, repeating, RBI, repeating, advantages of solving or knowing previous year questions. See, there are many hint UPSC have made many things easy for you, but you should know it, how to do it. So, the material and previous year question really will make this subject very easy for you and to make this paper very highly scoring. In 14, there was a question on marginal standing facility, business correspondent, statutory reserve requirement. In 15, there was a question on Basel III Accord and related question on in Basel. If you study about Basel III, you will study about a concept called capital adequacy ratio, because that is the most important norm under Basel III, and that was one of the prelims question, 2018 question, capital adequacy ratio. Monetary policy, statutory liquidity ratio. Then in 16 they asked from payment bank. You might have heard about now Airtel became a payment bank. Paytm is now a payment bank. Core banking solution, marginal cost of fund based lending rate. These are commonly in use. MCLR is whenever repo rate changes, something affects with your MCLR. We will discuss all those things. In 17, again, there was a question on S4A, scheme for sustainable structuring of stressed asset. See the 17 question, National Payment Corporation of India. See in 2018, National Payment Corporation of India. If you might have studied thoroughly by seeing the previous year question, you could have answered this question on National Payment Corporation of India. Monetary Policy Committee, Unified Payment Bank. So along with Payment Bank, there was another bank, Small Finance Bank. Okay, all these things we will study. Okay. Then in 18th question, 2018 question, there was a question on merchant discount rate, which was in news. Public sector bank, already UPSC has asked question on public sector. Legal tender money because of demonetization. Question on government securities, this bond price, bond yield, all these things we will study here. National Payment Corporation of India, capital adequacy ratio. Again, in this 18 money and banking question also, 2 questions you could have answered provided you have done the previous year question properly. And a current affair on BMAP. Many of you might have downloaded and you will be using it. You could have easily answered it also. So, this is money and banking for you. Now, our money and banking modules will be scheduled like this. Most important module is Reserve Bank of India. We will study maximum number of questions have come from this Reserve Bank of India. Then we will study about the concept of liquidity management. Basically, it's about an operation performed by RBI in controlling money supply. Then we will study about a very important concept of marginal cost of lending rate. Basically, it is the lowest interest rate set by the bank. There are certain criteria for it regarding MCLR. Then the money stock measures, the different money supply, broad money, narrow money, all these things we'll study there. Non-performing assets, you might have heard many news on bad loans. Now bankruptcy code, everything is related with it, okay. So we'll come to that. Then money market. So this treasury bill which was asked this year prelims was still from money market. Then government security, again this year question. Insolvency and bankruptcy code, now the most important news, bankruptcy code is in news. And the different types of banks, there are different types of banks, are there commercial banks, regional rural banks, cooperative banks. So all these things we will study under it. So this you have to study under money and banking, plus the current affair, you have to enrich it. If you cover this, you will become a master in money and banking. So that another important area which we need to cover. Then see, if you ask me, external sector and money and banking only will take more time to complete. We require more sessions. Other subjects we can finish it quickly. Even though they are important, it doesn't require, because the other two, money and banking and external sector, is quite means you have to go deep to it. Many concepts, many current affairs will be associated with it, and consistently you will get on an average 3 questions each from external sector and money and banking assured. So 6 questions from 2 topics means it really can make a big difference. Now public finance, 2011 question was on fiscal stimulus. So the consistency shown by money and banking and external sector and even agriculture is not shown by any other topics. Okay. So then there was a question on value added tax, microfinance. 12 there was no question on public finance. This happens. In 13 there was a question on deficit financing. In 14 there was a question on sales tax and non-plan expenditure. In 15 there was only a question on deficit budget. Same deficit budget question was asked in 2016 also. same topic, Capital Budget, Financial Stability and Development Council. And in 2017, there was a question on goods and service tax. Again in 2018, they asked a question on goods and service tax. National Pension System, Fiscal Deficit, Prohibition of Benami Property Transaction Act. Now try to understand, okay. Public finance, what all constitute public finance? How deeper you have to study about public finance, okay. Now FRBM committee, this was the 2018 question, goods and service tax, opportunity cost. Public finance this year was relatively tougher. 2018 public finance, almost all the questions were tougher, but public money and banking and external sector was quite easy. Now public finance, only 4 modules are there. I told you it's, but all are big modules. We will study in detail regarding, that is regarding budget, then the different taxation system, fiscal consolidation. FRBM committee will come under fiscal consolidation, goods and service tax. These are the 4 modules we will be covering under public finance modules. Okay, I think in 3 sessions we can complete it. Now the last 4 core topics of economy, that is agriculture. Agriculture has shown consistency. So in 11, see in agriculture, your geography teacher will deal some portions of agriculture, that is regarding soil, crops, cropping pattern, because that's geography, and this major crops like that, irrigation will be dealt by him. Economy, agriculture, economic, there is pure economics associated with agriculture, that's the core of agriculture, that I will be dealing it. So food inflation related with agriculture, mega food parks, micro irrigation he will be dealing it, orchid which is a crop, irrigation crops he will be dealing it, just but have an idea, okay. Then mixed farming, green manure, rain fed crops, biopesticides, your geography teacher will deal all these topics. Kharif crops, so see the crops, they ask different types of crops, okay. See the significance of crops in agriculture. 11 question on crops, rain fed crops, and Kharif crops in 13. In 14, initiatives like sustainable sugarcane initiative, integrated watershed development program, seed replacement rate, then cluster bean. When it comes to irrigation, it's another favorite area. See, crops, irrigation is there in your main syllabus also. It's there in your main syllabus. So irrigation, crops are favorite area of UPSC. Okay. Then agricultural production, seed village concept, fair and remunerative price, APMC, nitrogenous fertilizers. These were 15 questions from agriculture. Then there were a scheme related with agriculture. What is insurance scheme? That is Fasal Bima. We will study. These things I will cover. All the government schemes I will cover under agriculture. Globally important agricultural heritage system. Then initiative for nutritional security. Then national agricultural market. You might have heard about national agricultural market. Then water conservation, soil health card, and this year's 2018 question was one on agricultural household, minimum support price, National Food Security Act, edible oil. 2 questions were easy. Minimum support price and National Food Security Act question was relatively easy, but agricultural household and edible oil question was a bit difficult. But again, agriculture also, I told you, you need to study about the agricultural inputs like seeds, agricultural seeds, fertilizers, then related irrigation, different types of irrigation, advantages of certain types of irrigation, then the organic farming, biofertilizers like that. Then when it comes to other support measures of agriculture, that is regarding minimum support price. See, in agriculture, check your main syllabus. There are 3 out of your 10 modules, 3 modules are exclusively for agriculture. So mains agriculture is very important. There is one exclusive section on food processing industries, then marketing of agricultural produce, minimum support price is there, it's mentioned in your main syllabus, check your GS3 syllabus. Then public distribution system is there, food security is there. So if you see that these 2 topics is mentioned in your main syllabus, food security and minimum support price is there in your main syllabus. So if you covered your mains, these could have been easy for you. Okay, so agriculture, when we give more importance, we will first cover that mains 3 important modules, automatically your prelims will get covered. So agriculture will be dealt in a different way, because agriculture importance in mains, prelims is very high, but mains is more than that. Okay. Now comes to, so all the 4 core topics get over. Now in the other topics, we can finish it in few, maximum 2 sessions or 3 sessions. All can be finished in 1 or 2 sessions. Because relatively number of questions are less, but you cannot skip any topic. You have to study all the 12 topics. You have to study all the 12 topics. So inflation, most of the questions are concept related in questions, like what is inflation, base effect, then how inflation affects debtors. Then again, there was in 2013 there were 2 concept related with the question on inflation. So 12 there was no question, 14 there is no question. In 15 there were 2 questions on consumer price index. So we'll study consumer price index, wholesale price index, the different types of. Now recently new suggestions has been coming in relation to producer price index. Don't worry, I know that these terms gives you sir many things. All these things you have to study. Yes, we will study, but we will study in such a manner. In each session we will cover it. We will learn. Okay, we will make sure that okay, you need not to learn at home. You will learn here itself. We will learn here itself. So just have an idea. Inflation have to be covered because questions have been. So after agriculture, I'll start with national income because here it has many linkage with many other topics. Here only we'll study about the national income or GDP, etc. So in 2018 there were 2 questions from national income. Okay, now if you see both the questions of national income in prelims were easy. Both were previous year question. Both the 2 questions were from national income. Both 2 questions were asked previously. Topic, same topic. And if you see inclusive growth was asked in 2011. 2018 capital output ratio, it was asked in 1996. Same question was asked in 1996. So advantages of solving previous year questions. Economic growth question, national income, investment expenditure, GDP, tax to GDP ratio, inclusive growth, capital output ratio. So these were the questions being asked from national income. Important topics. So even though number of questions is less, the knowledge you will learn here is very important for your mains also. Now in mains, if you have seen the syllabus, there is out of 10 module, 1 module is on inclusive growth. Inclusive growth is your mains module. So if you cover inclusive growth, these questions might have been very easy for you. Now comes to industry. Okay, so these industries are again important from your mains point of view. More than prelims, industry is important. One exclusive chapter is there on industry. So from industry, the question asked is regarding disinvestment, that is government selling its stake, that is what is called as PSUs, is what is called as disinvestment. Then question on manufacturing sector, index of 8 core industries. Again there was a question on which are the 8 core industries in relation to this particular index. They asked specific question on sugar industry, then thermal power, steel industry, again same question, index of 8 core industries. Question were asked on national investment and manufacturing zone, district mineral foundation. 18 there was no question on industry. They asked a question on Bureau of Indian Standard and Quality Council of India. These were the question was, see relatively the number of questions from industry is lesser, and in most of the cases it's not that easy question. Except these 8 core industries questions are relatively easy. But we cannot skip it because we have to study for your mains. Mains we have, surely you will get 1 question from industry because there is 1 exclusive module on industry. So we will study industry also. Infrastructure, again there is an explicit module in your mains. So just go home and read your mains syllabus. Okay. So there is a 3 module on agriculture, 1 module on inclusive growth, 1 module on industry, 1 module on infrastructure. Means you will surely will get a question out of it. Okay. There was a question on Brent crude oil. There was a question on coal. There was a question on renewable energy. So same renewable energy question was asked, that is solar power is a renewable energy, solar power. Then infrastructure power scheme, UDAY, net metering, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and inland artificial inland port. A very important fund, infrastructure fund, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, Global Infrastructure Facility. In 2018 there was a question that was on regarding solar power. They asked a question, okay, who fixes the solar power tariff? It is fixed by this competitive bidding. And then they asked about the manufacturing of a particular input for solar photovoltaic cells. So that questions all been shared in your Telegram group. You can see it, especially the 2018 prelims question. Capital market, it's purely a prelims topic. Capital market is purely prelims, but comparatively questions are less asked in capital market, but we cannot skip it. There used to be many news related with capital market. Questions asked are till now capital gains, venture capital, IFC masala bond, sovereign gold bond scheme and gold monetization scheme from capital market. We will cover it, okay. I think in capital market 2 sessions is sufficient. Then human development, small topic, 1 session is sufficient. But in the last 2 years there have been questions on human development. They asked about the concept. This year the question was on what do you mean by this concept of human capital, okay. There is a very important index called human capital index. We will study that. Then global gender gap index, demographic dividend. 2 times they asked, demographic transition. We will study under this human development index and other things, gender development index, human poverty index. Under this, 1 session will be sufficient to cover it. Then poverty and unemployment, different measures to measure poverty. Then different types of unemployment, will cover it. So till now 3 questions, multi-dimension poverty index, a type of unemployment, that is disguised unemployment, and an index called as global hunger index. This is another now a favorite area of UPSC. They ask many questions related with government schemes. There are many schemes are there. See, for example, agricultural scheme, I will put it under agriculture only. Infrastructure scheme, I will put it under infrastructure only. We will study under it. Other than that, related economy schemes. So this is an insurance scheme, Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana. Then rural, you might have known that National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Then National Rural Livelihood Mission. Then Janani Suraksha Yojana. Employee State Insurance Scheme, National Rural Health Missions. Okay, see, health education is very important for your mains. In GS2, there is a topic called social justice. So when you study these, and in GS2 there is a, in mains point of view also we have to study welfare schemes. So when you study government schemes, parallelly you can prepare on social justice GS2 also. Then this Pradhana Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, you might have known that was news like anything. In 16 there was scheme like Pradhana Mantri Mudra Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, Stand Up India scheme. In 17 it was Vidyanjali Yojana, recognition of prior learning scheme, National Nutrition Mission, Smart India Hackathon, Digital India, and PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana. These 2 questions were easier. Both the government schemes were easier. Now have an idea, okay. This, so you know the topic. Please, when you have time, when you are not in a mood to study, just look into these questions, pattern. I told you, there are a pattern of questions are there. For example, there are ABCD questions are there, there are 3 statement questions are there are 4 statement questions are there are 2 statement questions are there are pair questions are there, and some questions can be answered through using common sense or logic. So many things will try out, okay. So from your Indian economy prelims point of view, these 12 topics, out of these 12 topics, the 4 topics, that is external sector, money and banking, public finance, agriculture, are the core topics. So you need to cover it first, those 4. Then I will say that government schemes and other things. Then 5th one, I will give importance to government scheme. All the recent, they prefer to ask the recent government schemes, especially introduced by this present government, and those schemes which are in news also. You need to give importance to it. Then other concepts like national income, capital market, inflation, like that. Then industry, then infrastructure, human development will study. Okay, so if you cover these, and we will try to cover these topics, we will finish all these topics by December, the class, because I want you to cover economy at the earliest, and we will make sure that we will score maximum from economy for your prelims. So this economy will give you an edge for your prelims, and this will make you this paper very easy, relatively easy and highly scoring. Okay, so study well for this coming prelims in such a manner that you not only your economy, you are not studying only for prelims, but knowing the mains also regarding how to prepare Indian economy for your mains. I'll take it in some other session. Okay. So, are you clear with prelims?